Well, everybody, a huge, massive welcome to the penultimate round of the NLR Esports Cup. Some of the very finest racing you will find across a week's league racing, and I hope you join us, poised and ready to witness some spectacular passing and excellent racing. My name is Webbo. Big thanks to Alex the G, who took the reins last week after I took ill, but I'm back. I'm ready to go, and I can't wait to get out there to Sao Paulo and see our boys racing as hard as ever. As you can see, it's round nine of 10. And this is how the table looks right now. Relentless with a massive lead. Relentless driving the Mercedes from the hosts NLR, with XL in third place. Elite Racing Team in pretty much settling into fourth place right now, but a good race relative to the guys ahead. Should see them move up into the podium positions. Remember, this is a cash prize racing league for the top three teams as they finish next week. Evora in fifth place, then CPI, ADRT, DTR, ARC, and IRT right at the back right now, but looking to get off that bottom spot. Now, I am reliably informed from Bowers that if Relentless score 22 points today, they will be champions regardless. So we could very well see a situation where our teams manage to secure that first place. However, NLR need to score 23 points just to keep their chances alive, and likewise 24 for XL and 64 for ERT. So the ball is very much in ERT's court, and welcome to anybody joining us slightly late here. I hope that I hope you're ready for a good race. I hope you're all well and at least well enough to enjoy some racing with us. Do let us know who you are if you're watching. Bowers has already said hi, so has Rajad, and hi to FedEx as well, tuning in as a true neutral. And FedEx, if you find a driver or a team that you're particularly cheering on, or you do join us as part of the chat and team spirit, then like I said, do let us know who you are here to support, and that will really help us enjoy the banter, enjoy the racing as well. Well, we are almost ready to go for our qualifying session, and I'll take you trackside to have a look. Remember that 22 points is what Relentless need out of today's race, and I can just reveal to you the point system for qualifying, which will be in. Obviously, we're going out there for Q1 right now, and it just so happens that Evora's Dylan is the first guy out on track, and I happen to be watching him as well. Very short track here in Sao Paulo. Well, those are the qualifying points for Q3. So you could see it's quite possible for Relentless to secure the championship just in qualifying alone by securing the big points available there. Remember, they only need 22 points tonight. Well, there's the quali points, but let's get back to action and our normal presentation for you as Dylan is now powering through his very first lap. And you know that if you were a fan of my output or you've seen my racing before, you'll know that I try to give the first hot lap action to the guy who manages to get out first on track. Well, just heading out there then through the last braking zone of the track, Yon Sao goes Dylan, and we'll ride on board the Haas Evora driver as we then watch to see how he tackles this one. Of course, he'll just take a nice, gentle steering action all the way through. Soft tyres in Q1, as you would expect. Doesn't really matter using a set of these as he goes into Curva 1 and the S de Sena, and then through the Curva del Sol. Nice clear track ahead of him. Well, I say that, and there's Killer Blue just coming out of the pits, but it's not troubling Dylan, who's picking his braking point now for Descida del Lago. And through. Difficult to stay valid through there if you're really going for it. And now we're heading towards Ferradura is the first part, La Rajinha the second part, and towards SA the first of the tight right-hand hairpins. Now going through Pinheirino. Can get the car nicely hooked up as before we then head towards Pico di Pato The left-hander is Mergulio. And then we're back at Yonsao already, just 50 seconds later. And back on the power. Now it's all about the narrowest line, straightest line possible towards the line as we head off to see what Dylan has managed on his first flying lap. And the bar will be set at a 107.429 straight out there. De Rui is riding for CPI at 108.212. Quite a bit slower there than Dylan's time. So the nice big slot for everybody to jump into. And I'll finish off saying my hellos to everybody. Hello to Axel, to Trench, Jeroen, Phelan, hi to Simleague Pro as well. And great to have you all aboard with us as Funky Chicken racing for Relentless, of course, a 108.137 on medium tyres, not wanting to scrub one of his sets as League of Ireland and, in fact, ARC today's Liam goes at 119.597, so much slower than the other guys out there. What's your prediction in the chat as to what the elimination line will be for 15th place today in Q1? As Ruti goes pole, or provisional fastest at least, at 107.0, and we join Larkin on board in the XL McLaren. We're struggling to hear game sound. Okay, no problem. Let me see what I can do about that. I'll just raise that a little bit for you. Hopefully that should be okay now. Thanks for the feedback. Brilliant stuff. So, Larkin then, staying valid. About to finish off sector 2. Goes to 51.3. And a sprint to the line. And it's a 107.955, good enough for 6th place. I haven't seen anybody's recommendations for what will be the 5th place cut-off today. We haven't seen an ADRT driving Alpha Tauri yet. It's Isaac joins us. Isaac on his first hot lap out here. For a fairly lengthy Q1 we get. Nathan says good luck to our 2 CPI debutants. So De Rui and Ruti as Wuta for Relentless straight in there. First lap fastest, 106.866. That's the first 106 time we have seen. And good time to put that one in. So fantastic stuff from Wuta. Total piece as a 6.3 pole, but what I'm looking for is the time that will be the cutoff for P15 in this session, and we can talk about pole later. Isaac, nice middle of the road time of 107.496. So fantastic stuff. Who else is out there? Gelato has put his time lap in. Gelato for the Evora team, P8 so far. What about Robbie, who we're hoping to get a nice safe banker lap in. Reminder there from the boss to please like the stream today and subscribe. Make sure you have subscribed to the channel. Make sure you follow us. The links are at the bottom of the screen, of course. If you want to see more of the output from either of us, whether it's Neverlast Racing or myself, Webbo. Robbie, P14 at the moment without setting a time, but on a fast lap right now for the IRT team. And sprinting up the hill then. Robbie usually able to put in a good quick time. Needs to stay away from that white line quite so much, but off to the line then a 6.9, and there's Robbie just thankfully proving me accurate to say he's got some good quick times in there. Nice and close for the fastest time out there. Nice. Okay, it'll be good to catch. I'll try and catch hold of Jab if we can. And Jab, if you're listening, what we might do is do it in the voice channel in NLR's Discord. so I'll stand by for that one. I don't want to tempt fate, of course, but it'd be great to hear from the team boss if Relentless do secure the championship, either right now during the sessions of qualifying Q3 or during the race. Kart racer for NLR, who have had a massive resurgence in the second half of this championship. P10 so far, 7.8, and it is so tight in that range. And I wonder if our cutoff is going to be in that mid 107 range for P15 today. Samba doing the usual tactic from Elite Racing Team, and that is to let everybody else sweep the track clean for them. ERT then a 6.850, fastest time so far, and appearing on track and doing it in style. What about Black Mamba for Delta T in the Williams? It's a 107.7, and I think that's going to be right on the bubble. We've got Henry out there, who was fashionably late. Let's watch a lap with Henry. Nicely into Decido del Lago, now heading towards Ferradura and La Lanina. Are looking just like a normal Red Bull on rails going through here. Of course, you see lots and lots of league racing. Likes to visit Sao Paulo, popular track, so no excuses from the drivers. Should be absolutely ingrained, and should see if they could do it with their eyes closed. And for me, that's quite an interesting challenge. I wonder if anyone would take up that challenge and drop a lap in with their eyes closed and see how close they get. Well, Henry to the line then, a 6.9, and ERT absolutely the best team result so far, first and fourth, and only a tenth away from each other as well. Brilliant stuff. What about Brent? Let's see Brent, and try and give everybody a little bit of screen time in this early session, especially the guys who are at the foot of the field where it's all important. Job really done, I would imagine, for anybody setting a 106 so far. Brent has, of course, a middle sector for him, as now Funky Chicken for Relentless goes third and betters that team position, second and third so far. So who are we going to see on top in this session? More importantly, who's at the bottom? It's Brent up there in P9 now, a 107.2. That's definitely on the cusp of being safe for this session. We'll head down and see what is Craig actually putting in a lap. I think he might be just slightly quicker than he's been before. Through sector 1, through sector 2 a lot quicker, and on target then to set a much more representative time. Currently a 119 is his best time, so presumably some off-track incident on his first lap we didn't catch. This is the ARC team, not League of Ireland, and across the line then it's a P7, 107.1, and tremendously close times. We have got the 18 drivers within a second of each other so far, and just one ADRT's New Jersey, who I immediately, when I saw him, I read Adrian Newey. I don't know why, but ADRT's New Jersey is the guy who has yet to set a time, and he's actually out there about to do one. What about Larkin, though? A quarter of a second faster than he's been before, could get him into somewhere around the safe zone. So that safe zone is looking smaller and smaller as we progress, with 6 minutes to go in Q1. Mentioned a number of times, please like the stream today in between sessions if you can. Three-quarters of a second, actually about to get ourselves really far up, and a good tow from Killer Blue up ahead is going to really help. Larkin is going to follow as tight as possible behind Killer Blue and sprints for the line. A 107.0 takes him from near the back of the grid all the way up to P6, and he'll certainly enjoy seeing that one. Kart Racer currently way down in P19, but it's New Jersey's attempt now to get himself on terms. Take taking a wide line as he approaches center S's. Very easy for drivers to overdo that second apex and invalidate themselves that way. New Jersey then going for a nice V-shape through Curva do Sol. Now to Interlagos. He needs to get this time in. It's not panic stations just yet for New Jersey, but certainly want to get this one valid. We've got some fans of Ruti who are here. A new fastest lap up there, and it's now Evora with Gelato on top, 106.778. Love to know where you're watching us from today, if you can. Just country is fine. Don't need to give us your street address. As New Jersey looks good so far. One more challenge is to avoid that white line on the inside of your right tyre, and it's a 106.9. Again, another driver as the track grips up, getting up there into the 106s, as does Kart Racer, leaving Black Mamba at the bottom of the field. So currently your eliminations look like Killer Blue, DeRui, Dylan, Jackson, and we ride Black Mamba, who won't do it this time with an invalidation on his next attempt. Just enough time then to get in, get the car turned around, back out again for another run. How many of our top 5 or 6 will bother? The top 8 are within are inside that 106 time. Rezify says he's watching on YouTube. That's yeah, always helpful. DeRui then making his debut, as we heard, for CPI. As now we have the entire field split between 1 second, which is tremendous. And the boss says, yeah, 40 viewers already in Q1 must be a record. Well, you can tell we're getting into the sharp end of the championship when the top specialists from each team are being deployed. And DeRui, where's this one going to go? Only up to P13 and 107.1. So it is so tight up there. So we've got 40 viewers. How many likes have we got so far, boss? I can't see it on my output. Ruti has a big fan club, says Keki. That's true. So, Reapers then on the bubble. And I wouldn't have been expecting that. Heading into the session, 2 minutes to go before the checkered flag falls, and it looks like, yes, Gelato has decided he doesn't need to bother on a 106.778. Everybody soft tyres, of course. It's the tyre choice that's interesting next time that will catch the eye, of course. So Reapers into Yonsao might get, no, I think that car ahead, that white car ahead, is probably too far away to lend him any form of assistance up the hill. Reapers hugs the pit wall, and a 106.3. Wow, a brand new fastest time by some margin, 4/10 faster than Gelato's time. Reapers easily gets himself very comfortably out of elimination zone. Jackson then P19 right now for ARC in the Ferrari, and he's trying to make an improvement. Could be the last attempt here for Jackson. Fabulous stuff from Reapers. And if we can get times in the 106.3, that's going to be special in Q3. A reminder, Relentless could win this championship just in Q3, so sit tight, don't go anywhere. 0.6 of an improvement from Jackson, just needs to stay valid, and he'll be right on the cusp of a 106 time here. Jackson heading to the line. Has anybody gambled with we're not having to run too early? It's P9 for Jackson, a 106.930, but we've got all the tail of the field currently out there on laps, and we'll see how they manage to get themselves out of the session. Black Mamba will not improve. Killer Blue, will he improve? Yes, up to P10 for Killer Blue. Brent has retired. Black Mamba's retired. So both of the Delta T racers are out of the session. I don't see De Rui going any quicker either. Isaac is slow. Liam, perhaps the only driver in the elimination zone right now who could stand to improve, and he's a quarter of a second faster than he's been before. A 107.0 is what he needs to get himself out of Q1. Off to the line then goes Liam, and what's it going to be? Wow, P5, great improvement at 106.791. And folks, I think we have our eliminated drivers settled now, as Larkin looks to be the guy on the bubble with the into the pits. Doesn't need to set the time. Has seen that De Rui will be out. So anybody else actually finishing a lap right now? I wonder. New Jersey P12. This is just for pride, I think, at this stage. I think we have our eliminated drivers. Well, that would have been much more like it from New Jersey, but he invalidated across that pit line, just testing out the limits of the track. I think at this point, Killer Blue probably on his way into the pits by the look of things. So it looks like it's going to be Dylan, Isaac, De Rui, and both Delta T drivers, Brent and Black Mamba, out of our session. So not the best situation there for Delta T, but with it all to gain in the race. Jaden asks if he can get a high. Of course you can. Great to have you. We've got Cav on the chat as well. Storm is around, and Storm is cheering on NLR, at least recognizing form when he sees it. Palm Medal is here for Evora. Blue, I'm not quite sure what the hashtag is. CPI, is that CPI Devils F1 League? I'm not sure, mate. Help out a bit of a clueless commentator here. I haven't seen that hash before, but anyway, Reapers with the pole position, well, the fastest time I should say, excuse me, in Q1 from Ruti, Robbie, Gelato, Liam, Wooter, Samba, Funky Chicken and Henry had good times earlier on, but were demoted. Then Jackson, Killer Blue, New Jersey, Seeb, and XL Larkin survived. However, Dylan, Isaac, De Rui, and both Delta T races, Brent and Black Mamba, out. Out they go, unfortunately. Yeah, Jerome says 6.3 in Q1. WTF, absolutely. Cav says Reapers for a 5.8 in Q3. I'm not sure. I don't know if we're going to see a 105 time. That would be something very special. I'd love to, absolutely. So 15 drivers will have 15 minutes to tackle Q2. Brent's maybe not happy. Is he not happy because of the times being posted by our drivers, I wonder? Brent, just give us that little bit of clarification for us. I haven't yet seen a weather forecast. So if you wouldn't mind giving me a weather forecast, and if any drivers or team bosses are watching the chat, let us know a little bit of background, or if someone has retired or exited the session. Let us know if there's some news that we need to keep on top of. We very much like doing that. So, drivers already heading out, and it looks like CPI, it's Ruti, who is already out there taking advantage of a clear track, or at least hoping to. So, Jaden has put NLR at the front of his name in the hopes he can get himself recruited. If you don't ask, you don't get. So Brent not happy with power delivery on his final lap. Fully dry, says Brent. Thank you very much. I presume that's for the entire afternoon of racing, and we're trying to do our best here to fill that hole that the F1 has left for us on a Sunday afternoon without racing. Let's watch with Ruti then, as he's the first guy out there into the center S's, short shifting through for best traction. plants the right foot. Nice smooth line through Interlagos. Okay, Blue clarifies Devil's F1 League is Ruti's fan base. Good to know. Well, Ruti, unfortunately, a quick invalidation there. Is it Killer Blue who's on a lap behind him? Let's watch. It wasn't actually. It was Larkin, but Killer Blue is actually on a quick lap right now. Alex tunes in. Hey to Alex. Show a bit of love for Alex's comms last week. Good stuff. So Killer Blue able to get, looks like XL working very nicely together. The sun gets in his eyes, coming through Yonsao. And yeah, like I say, XL working together for the toe up the hill, a 1:07.274. Obviously the fastest time so far, but we know that that was on the bubble for elimination last time out. So I think we'll go a bit quicker than that. And the next XL driver, Larkin, will tackle this next lap. Powers will let me know, he says, on the championship, which is brilliant to hear. Haven't seen anything other than Brent with his debrief from the session. Larkin then, this flat out curve is Subida dos Box. We go to the line then, 106, waiting for the time to tick over, 106.844. It's Larkin and Killer Blue from Jackson, our set time so far. As Robbie gets himself a little bit sideways, coming out of the center S's and through Curva do Sol. A nice cheeky little toe, medium tyres on Robbie's car. Of course, the first three drivers have put times in on softs. We have lost New Jersey, unfortunately. I'm afraid I didn't catch what happened there. So we've still got a good half of our watchers have yet to like the video today. ARC, let me know there that that Liam has his first race of the season and finished P2 from P9 yesterday. Liam managed the first race of the season with his new team. So Robbie, hopefully nicely tucked up behind his teammate Steve here. Nice coordination going on. I suspect they're in a chat together, or at least the boss is giving the nod. A 107.5 on medium tyres. Not sure that's going to be enough. Reapers, let's watch with him as he's gone through sector 1 safely. He's gone for soft tyres here. I wonder if Reapers will bail out of the lap late in the day. Just make sure he gets a safe banker on here. Mike says he was 2 tenths up but ran out of fuel. No, from Durui. Crazy. Fortunate to run out of fuel there. Reapers on target here, but I kind of expect to see a lift off as he approaches the line. Heading up the hill then. No, flat out 106.652 on soft tyres. So that's how you set the bar for the rest of them. What about Samba then? Let's watch Samba's lap. Getting himself nicely through the corners here. Medium tyres for both the ERT team. So interesting to watch whether any of our drivers will be deciding to alternate strategies to maximise the chance that they'll be on the right one, or double down on the strategy option that they've decided ahead. Let me know what your estimates of tyre life will be in the race, if you can, to compare notes. 107.6 on mediums for Samba. What's Henry up to behind him? Henry, it's a bit, no, it's quicker. 107.537 on medium tyres, the fastest medium time we've seen yet. Next up out there, we'll watch Kart Racer. Yeah, come on, boys, let's get to 100 subscribers for Neverlast Racing during the footage. Have a little celebrate if we can. 4 more is all we need. Kart Racer for the line, 14.3 on softs. Is that just a safe banker? Was there some drama on the lap? I'm not sure. And I'm sure with all the fans watching, I want to see Ruti's next attempt. Right on the edge of Adhesion, on the exit of Descida do Lago. Good and smooth so far. Purple, I think that purple is just for him though in this session. So, 2 drivers yet to set a time. Of course, you can't count New Jersey, who won't set a time in this session and will definitely be eliminated. Ruti to the line then, and straight into second place at 106.768 soft tyres for him. And we also know what kind of speed Gelato has got, so let's check in with him. 50.2, I think that's quick for sector 2. Heading to the line then. It's quick, it's a 106.790 again, soft tyres. Lots of drivers electing here to go on to the onto the soft tyre, very few on mediums. I think Killer Blue is actually out again on softs for another run. Killer Blue looking smooth here. Can't tell you how excited I am to see the Q3 times. Whether we're going to get any 105s. Killer Blue is quick though in this one. Can he get himself clearer away from P9? Crosses the line to a tiny improvement, but it's not enough so far. So in the elimination zone, Samba, Henry, Liam, Robbie and Jackson, of course, New Jersey. Liam is 0.2 quicker though, as he's done all of his braking for this lap. I wonder how much of a factor that sun is going to be in the driver's eyes as they are slipstreaming on the way out of Yonsao. It's quicker, it's 107.3, but it's still not really that safe. Still medium tyres, everyone else coming out on soft tyres. And if everyone comes out on softs, I cannot see a medium runner getting through with the closeness of the field as we see it so far. Robbie with a purple first sector for IRT. I can say IRT desperate to get off the bottom of the table right now. Take it back to the standings very soon. But Robbie, how quick is this lap? He's still purple. Brilliant stuff from Robbie. Will this be a fully purple lap? Or has he taken too much out of the soft tyres to finish the lap strong? Heading to the line, this does look good. And it's a fastest time by a second faster than he'd been before. 106.640 for Robbie. And that's the way to get yourself out of elimination zone. Liam is on his way in, and we've got 3 minutes to go. Everybody heading to the pits. So while they do that, let's have a quick look at the standings, remind ourselves of where everything stands. As I mentioned, IRT on the bottom but not far away from ARC, with Delta T both out of Q1. May fall into the clutches of ARC as we finish off this round 9, but leading the way and on the cusp of potentially winning the title is Relentless. I'm told they need 22 points out of qualifying all the race to make it work. Well, the first cars are heading out for their final, I think, runs. Will it be? Let's see. Well, I think we've got Sieb he's not the first one. Robbie's on the way into the pit, so I think it's actually the ERT pairing. First Samba, then Henry on their laps. Soft tyres they go with now. Liam's in the pits, but he's putting on softs as well, so everybody going for it should have the top 10 all on the same strategy if they complete these laps. Top 6 in the pits. Will they bother to go out again? Looks like ERT are coordinating their efforts once again. Quarter of a second quicker goes Samba through this one. Sector 1, I should say. Kart Racer has retired from the session from P4. That looks deliberate, yep. And there's a Mercedes going very slowly down the Reta Aposta. Purple sector for Samba. Looks like Henry's had an issue as well, off track. So Samba cannot help his teammate out just yet. Samba for the line then, and it is pole provisionally fastest time, a 106.578 for Samba. Beautiful lap out there. What about Henry though? We know he was off track. Jackson for the ARC team trying to get himself way up better than he's been before. P11 won't do it, but Liam will have the benefit of his teammate up ahead of him on track. Which, like I say, we know Henry isn't going to go any quicker, but what about Killer Blue's toe up the hill here? It's almost going to get in the way with Larkin. He peels out from him behind his teammate. 106.7 for Killer Blue. Great coordination from the XL team that we've seen all afternoon so far. Relentless currently down in 9th and 10th. Must go again. Must complete these laps, but Funky Chicken has not. He's invalidated his lap now, so we'll watch with Wouter to see if he can secure ERTs. They definitely want those points in qualifying. If they get themselves eliminated, that's not going to be the way to do it. Wouter is not on track to improve through Sector 1. Let's see. We know Henry. What about Sieb? Sieb is behind him on track, in fact, so Wouter and Sieb is not going a great deal quicker. I wonder if the track evolution has plateaued at this point. Storm asks about safety car. I think we're on reduced, Storm, but Harley, the boss of NLR, will confirm for us. So Wouter for the line with Samba setting pole so far. Robbie, Reapers, Liam, Killer Blue, Ruti, but it's all about who's in P11 and after. Wouter for the line will benefit from tiny toe from a car heading into the pits. And away we go to the line then, and it's quick enough. It's P8. He's in the safety zone right now. What about Funky Chicken? Can he improve? Yes, he can, but he's on 2 lap old softs. That's going to be important in come the race. And it looks like everybody else has pitted, and I don't know who would have put money down on it being Kart Racer, Gelato, Henry, Jackson, and New Jersey eliminated from this session. That was something of a surprise to see those drivers eliminated. So big news to see NLR, Evora, 1 ERT car, 1 ARC, and I think now both ADRT cars eliminated. We see good representation from most of the teams in the top 10. I think everybody set their fastest times on softs. I think we will have the top 10 starting on softs here. Oh, safety car is on standard, says Harley. So Let's hope we don't see that too often. Samba with the fastest time in Q2 from Funky Chicken. Robbie, remember we've got a 106.5 and we're looking for a 105 time today if possible. Reapers, Liam, Killer Blue, Sieb, Larkin, Rooty and Wooter all made it through and will pick up points in qualifying, but it's Kart Racer, Gelato, Henry, Jackson and New Jersey eliminated from our session. I'm not going away, but I'm just going to take a quick break. You're back with Webbo, and now it's time for the lightning times that we're hoping to see. Just a quick reminder then, in quali, here are the points that will be paid out in Q3. We will see 15 for pole, 12 for second, 10 for third, all the way down to 1 for 10th place. So everybody completing this Q3 will receive those points. It is possible still for Relentless to accrue the 22 they need to secure the championship before we even get underway racing, but very tight at the top between NLR and XL. On board with Reapers, who's been quick in nearly every session and nearly every lap as well, I should say. Hi to Senna, who has tuned in, and thanks to Jaden as well for the compliment. Always appreciate that. And Storm is as excited as the rest of us for some quick times incoming. We're absolutely champing at the bit to see these guys and what they can do on soft tyres with maximum track evolution. Bit of a step out for Reapers, but got the car under control, only to invalidate on the apex. Just unsettled the car. Will join Liam, who has similarly unsettled his car and got an invalidation. So has Larkin. I cannot find a driver who is actually current on a lap. It's Funky Chicken. Is it about to get funky in here with Funky Chicken for Relentless? Remember, going for that championship win if they can, Relentless, and it would really take the pressure off if they secure it in qualifying. They can focus on their race. So Funky Chicken for the line. Traffic likely to be an issue as Rooty gets the first lap in, a 106.7. That could still be a 10th place time given the way that the speeds have gone so far. 106.8 is Funky Chicken's first banker lap. Larkin is only just beginning his lap. Let's see what Sieb is up to then. The familiar turbo whine of the Alpine. Heading to the line. Then for Sieb, a 106.891 is very close to Funky Chicken's time, but it's not quite there. Wooter's invalidated his lap that he's on right now. Robbie hasn't. Robbie, quick laps all afternoon. and he's got a little bit of help from Sieb up ahead, who will presumably dodge out of the way. There he goes. Just to deflect any issue Robbie might have under braking for Interlagos. Ferradura. Nice line through there. Kept the car in 6th gear. Jav asked, I think he's listening while at in a restaurant trying to do family time and team boss work at the same time. Jav Relentless did get both cars through. It was a little bit tight towards the end of Q2, but they did do it, so it is possible. As Robbie then heads towards the end of this lap. Flash of the sun in the eyes. And heading towards the line then for Robbie, and 106.7, that's getting familiar. Robbie out there. What about Samba? He's no good. No good on this lap, at least. I think everybody else heading on their way in. Killer Blue likewise. Reapers wanting to do something with this lap. He's the first one out, and the first one out for the second lap as well. 6.5 minutes left of Q3. No fireworks just yet, but a purple first sector for Reapers. Oh, and an invalidation through there, and that's really piling on the pressure for Reapers, who's had one of the fastest cars so far. Would say, just to clarify, cars are on equal performance. Samba, the Red Bull Racing ERT team. Purple middle sector for Samba, at least for him anyway. Heads to the line. Looks good, a nice mid 106 time, but I really feel like there's going to be much faster times to come out of this group of drivers. They've all taken it pretty calm on the first lap. If they've stayed valid, Reapers will get a time in here, but it won't be anything to write home about. Just over 5 minutes before the checkered flag falls. Cav is interested in what NLR are doing, but they're not actually on top just yet. It's the calm before the storm. Drivers are going to make it hard work for me to keep up with everybody's laps, and they're all going to do it at the end of the session. So let's see what the drivers can make out of this one. I do hope we get some drivers coming out early, because they're going to have traffic arguments, going to have all kinds of problems. Samba makes his way into the pits. I think we've got Liam will be the first one out there to run the next lap. Might get a little bit of help from the back of the Aston Martin. Reaper's going round again and puts a fast lap in, a 106.3. I do think we're going to get close to the 105s overall. Liam coming up behind Reapers, almost running on the grass to get every 100th possible. He's up on his time through sector 1. Dexter joins us in the chat. Maybe you've been watching the whole time, but joins us in the chat and just to praise his team member Samba's time, 106.555, and pushing the hashtag #BeElite. Fastest second sector for Liam. It's looking good. To be competitive out there. Heading for the line then. Liam, we get a 106.7. It's good enough for third place, but I can see lots of drivers slotting in between him and provisional pole right now. We've got outlaps, I think, from Larkin behind him. Ruti He's on an outlap, on track. And then we've got, I'm assuming, yeah, Sieb coming up next. So we'll stay with these drivers while they remain positive on their delta. Storm says a 106.1 for pole. Okay, we'll remember that, Storm. Kudos if you get it correct. We've got Bowers ready, standing ready with the calculator to see if Relentless can secure the championship out of this one. Larkin, nothing spectacular through sector 1, but he'll have tyres alive for him at the end. It's the car in to Pinerino nicely. Bit of timing update. It's quick through sector 2, and what timing from Killer Blue. Knows exactly where his teammate is. This could help Larkin get a good time on the board. Sprints for the line then directly behind his teammate. Larkin, P3, 106.698 is a good time, and he'll try and do the favours to his teammate if he can. Behind Robbie on an outlap. I did say Ruti was on one, didn't I? Ruti very slow on this first lap, probably a prep lap. Sieb goes P3 for IRT at 106.561. We've got Reapers on an outlap, looking like the final guy to take it to try and get round for pole. Samba's going slowly. Let's see what Wooter's got as he closes out the final attempt here in Q3. Will we see some fireworks or not? Wooter for the line. He's got his teammate up the road ahead of him. Funky Chicken, big improvement up to P2. Wooter up to P6. Good lap from Wooter. That could be enough to get the championship done for these boys. Ruti is going quicker still, and it looks like Reaper's on his lap as well, out there to try and better his time. Just bragging rights now. Ruti is 1/10 faster, and that could see him anywhere between 5th and where he is in 8th right now. Ruti sprints for the line then. And away we go. It's a 106.5. It's good enough for second place as Robbie comes up the track behind him. Ruti at second place so far. What's next then? Robbie on the way into the pits. So it's Craig who is going slower as well. I think Wooter is done for this one. What about, let's track Reapers. Checkered flag has fallen as Reapers is quicker still. Reapers, I don't know. Oh, big slide on the way out of Yunsao. Perhaps just pushing that a little bit too far. Has he lost the time he gained? I think we'll see. I don't know if he'll stay positive. He was 1/10 up. Oh, it's a 106.304. New pole position for Reapers despite backing it out of Yunsao. Electric time from Reapers. Absolutely getting the job done for the hosts. NLR against Evora, really, against XL right now, really in the championship. Relentless 3rd and 7th in qualifying. That, I think, is your qualifying session over. I'm pretty sure that's the way it's gone down. Pole for NLR, says the boss, from Ruti and Funky Chicken for Relentless. Samba, Sieb, Liam, Wooter, Larkin, Robbie and Killer Blue make out your top 10. And brilliant stuff from the boys there. And let's just check out those points. As I say, 3rd gives them 10. 7th gives them 4. So shy of the 22 they need. But with only 8 to get from the whole race, we will see how that works out. But one hand on the trophy for Relentless, but I'm sure that they want to see a good race nonetheless. NLR's Reapers then on pole position from Ruti for CPI, then Funky Chicken for the championship leading Relentless team, then ERT's Samba, IRT's Sieb down to ARC's fastest driver, Liam, today at least. Relentless second driver, Wouter. XL's Larkin. IRT's Robbie. And Killer Blue will start 10th. Everybody, of course, that we found out on soft tyres. Half a second separating the top 10. Brilliant, brilliant stuff for Q3. Get out there, sharing and subscribing to the channel. Share the video right now if your team are taking part. I hope you enjoy what we've got coming on. Bowers is furiously sorting out his calculating for me. I'll just let you in on the point situation for the race as well. We will see 15 for pole and 25 for a race win. To try and get those subscriptions up to 100 just before we start the race, please, guys. Make sure you've liked the video as well. We want to get at least 3/4 of the live viewers liking the video. If you're watching back, make it happen for us. And that's the race points situation that the guys will collect for the top 10 positions, as well as a fastest lap if they make it for us. Yeah, Bowers conferring it is not enough points for Relentless, but they can still do it in the race. So we will see as the guys getting ready for the formation lap here. Tyres then, 11th onwards, nearly everybody opting those mediums except for Isaac and for Black Mambo, who's gone on a split strategy from his teammate at the back there. Just gonna head off the inquiries. We will not be showing telemetry unless there's very dull racing right at the very end of the race. We don't want to give the game away. We know the race engineers are watching the stream generally, so we try not to give the game away for those drivers. So preferably don't ask. Looks like we're at least 2 subs away now. 2 subs away. Can we do it before the end of this one? We absolutely want to see that. So AWS predicting a soft hard or a soft medium strategy. Drop your comments as to whether you agree with that one. We'll be underway very shortly, and I hope to show you some highlights at the end of the race if I can get it all working properly for you. So do tune in. And if Relentless manage to secure the win, we'll try and dial in to Jav, team boss. Jay says, let's go JT and Dylan for Ivora, of course. So we're almost ready for this, the 9th round in the 10-round championship. This is Esports at its finest, and it's Sunday afternoon racing, of course, where it should be. So we're almost there, almost ready for the race. Reaper's on pole, Rooty on the inside. There may be an advantage there. Some advantage from the cars pointing down the hill. We'll be able to get going slightly quicker. Just trying to get you that start light. It's 5 lights on. It's 5 lights out, and away we go with Reapers from pole. Leads away nicely. Samba from 4th place getting crowded out by the Ferrari, but later on the brakes, a little bit of contact between the Ferrari of Jackson, who has spun as a result. Now, Samba on the offensive has got side by side with Funky Chicken's car on the way down the pit straight. We're not looking like we're going to get any action between the leaders, but it's side by side 6 times down into the Descida do Lago corner. Samba holding on to the inside line as they head into Ferradura, and it's away. It was Liam who lost out hugely, as well as Jackson, so a really poor start for ARC as they scream down through the middle sector now, finishing off this one. At the end of the first lap, it looks like Sieb closing very tightly on the back of Wouter. Larkin similarly on the back of Funky Chicken. Reapers, of course, with the automatic first pole position. Sieb tucked up behind Wuta, can't get the job done without DRS at this stage. And it's Reapers from Ruti, Samba, Funky Chicken, Larkin, Sieb we ride with, then Killer Blue, Robbie, Kart Racer, up to 10th already, with some good gainers, including New Jersey from the away from the start position, 3 places up already. It's Liam down 13 places, and it's Isaac already in the pits for ADRT. Good first lap, nice safe first lap for the majority of the field, and it's great to see. So Reapers leads at this early stage. Will NLR continue to be on top at the end of the race? Medium tyre drivers moving up the grid as you would expect. And the mission here for the first 3 laps is just stay on terms with the car in front until you get that fabulous DRS boost, and it makes life much easier for you in the 2 major braking zones on the track. DRS enabled now, so who is still within? It's Ruti and Samba, it's Larkin and Wuta, Sieb, Killer Blue. We see Killer Blue very close as they get the first boost of DRS down the Reta Raposta. Not close enough this time. Ruti closing in to Reapers up front. We've got a couple of drivers getting very close to one another. Wuta trying to get back on terms with his teammate. He's got Larkin in between them though. We'll head up towards the front of the field as the front 3 is now starting to get away. Reapers, Ruti and Samba getting away from Funky Chicken here. Let's see if we can get some action going down into the center S's for the 4th time. We get DRS for the first time on this straight now. Ruti very, very close. Is it close enough to have a go? Reapers gives him the inside, but he's not close enough to make it happen. Let's check out Funky Chicken and Larkin. Again, not quite. Drivers just a little bit shy. They don't want to chew up their softs too early. These soft runners, they've got to make them last as far as possible through the race. Ruti getting close up at the front here. It's now 1/4 of a second. It's going to be hurting the tyres. He wants to stay and he wants to get that place as quickly as he can, and then he can start cooling those tyres. But Samba doesn't want to let him get away with it too easily as well. Lots of cars in that 2nd, 3rd or 4th position behind a DRS train, which makes life very difficult. The onus very much on the driver with the first DRS opportunity. And we're away up the hill once again. Here comes Ruti, 1/4 of a second. Has he got close enough this time? Just not there. But he'll get a second bout of DRS if he can stay on traction on the way out of this corner. You can see the car already being sucked towards Reapers. Ruti to the inside. Looks like it's going to be done. Ruti took a couple of corners, but he got there, takes the lead. So Ruti up there. Now Samba trying to make the most out of Reaper's loss of momentum. Samba really getting close now. Will he launch a risky one? No, he's very circumspect. We've got 36 laps for you today. It's no good to have an incident so early on. Isaac on the mediums. He's already stopped. Everybody else yet to stop. But the soft runners of Liam and Black Mamba absolutely not able to make inroads with those soft tyres against the medium runners from the start. The mediums have all managed to warm up, get ahead. Ruti signing for CPI is attracting attention, shall we say. So no moves for the inside. Larkin then defends the inside from Funky Chicken. as they head towards the center S, and it's Funky Chicken around. Funky Chicken round and out and tumbling down the order. We saw him slightly ghost there, and now Wouter for a move on Larkin. It's not successful, but yeah, big news for Funky Chicken, big news for Relentless, who are trying to nab this championship if they can. Remember, only the top 10 score points in the race. Isaac with the first penalty on lap 6, and it's super close here in the second group on the track, but we'll just head up towards the front where the biggest points are being paid out, I should say, as it looks like possibly Reapers with an issue coming out of Yonsao. Ruti gapping him and Samba trying to get back on terms, but Reapers, I think, pressing the ERS just to regain that momentum and defend from Samba. Let's check out Wouter getting past Larkin, then uses the outside, gets the job done on DRS, and it looks like Wouter then, for Relentless, has managed to jump Larkin. Will Sieb have a run? Not quite. Wouter holds that middle line, just nervous of a move in retaliation from Larkin. But no way by just yet. So Relentless up to P4 now, and will he be able to start to get away from this train where he's been stuck for so long? One second separating the top 3 drivers still, and less than that separating a lot of the next group. But they are now 3.2 seconds away. The difficulty for Wouter in getting away from this group is that, of course, they've all got DRS and he doesn't this lap. So let's look at the back up at the lead. I think Reaper's closing on an opportunity to take the lead again. He goes to the inside. He's given the gap, and another overtake for the lead on lap 8. It's Reaper's back on top. Down at the back, looks like Black Mamba has pitted, and the undercut has worked big time for his rival ADRT's Isaac. Now starting to get a little bit tasty down here in fourth, fifth, and sixth, as Wouter using that middle line to defend the track, as he has every right to do, of course. But Reaper's still on top from Ruti and Samba. Reaper's starting to pull away slightly as the soft tyres start to go off. Which of the top 3 were more gentle on their tyres? It's looking like Reaper's on this lap at least, but the undercut pretty powerful here. Top 3 really getting away now. 4 seconds the gap up at the front. I think Wouter's going to be highly vulnerable going through here. I don't think Ruti and Samba are going to have a go, but looks like Larkin might on Wouter. Down the inside goes Larkin. He'll get a second go at DRS on the way through, and a nice place gain back up to 4th for Larkin. Nothing happening at the front so far, as you were. Larkin with that DRS able to hold off Wouter once again. Massive train of drivers all together here, slipstreaming all the way through the lap. Exactly what we want to see. Great. I've got some maths updates. Thanks to that. Thanks, Bowers. So Relentless need just 11 points now, which will be they need 6th and 8th to take the championship. Nice and clean. So great update from Bowers. Thanks for that. Brilliant stuff. And we have a safety car where Black Mamba has had an issue. So this is good timing for the soft runners. The top 3 coming in. What about Larkin? I think all the soft runners will come in and all get on terms. What about the medium runners though? Safety car for Black Mamba on lap 9. Yeah, lots of people pitting, lots of medium runners pitting as well. Is this going to be everybody? No, Kart Racer, Gelato and Dylan decide not to come in the pits. They feel like there's a high chance that they'll be back at it. with another safety car later, and who would blame them? Just about everybody else, though, in the pits, even some of the fresh pitted runners that have already pitted once. So some on 2 stops already. A couple of hard tyres going on. Sieb, Derui, and Liam. Those are ones to watch who should be good to the end of the race. So mission for Relentless to get 6th and 8th and secure the championship. Not really on right now, but Funky Chicken, I'm sure, will be wanting to move up. And here we go, safety car. Another NLR driver back on top of this race. They are holding a stranglehold of the race so far, and should be have a good chance of being on the right strategy between the 2 drivers at least. Some questions coming in about strategy. 26 laps to go. Some drivers on hard tyres. Reminded there, that's Sieb, Derui and Liam. Just have a look at some of the action we've seen so far while we're under safety car order. That was the loss of Funky Chicken fighting with Larkin. Safety car is on its way into the pits, and we'll get back to live action for you. About to go green. It's Kart Racer who will lead us away. When does he decide to go? Of course, the earlier you go, the more chance there is you will be vulnerable. Talking of vulnerable, Dylan's got to be looking in the mirrors as well. There goes Kart Racer now. We go green, and it looks like Reapers with a great reaction. Should have better braking on the way into turn 1. He's hung himself right on the outside. Reaper's very impatient to get going. Just about gets by with a little bit of contact and a nice restart from Reapers. Looks like Dylan trying to react with Samba behind. So Reaper's very, very keen to get underway as quick as possible. Samba on Dylan. Will he go to the inside? Oh, contact, I think, with a little bit of sideways action from Dylan with a well-held drift on the way through La Joreña, and he survives, but really struggling to get these tyres back up to temperature, as will the hard runners. They'll be really very, very cold at this stage. So away we go then. First lap after the restart. No DRS for a couple of laps yet, and Samba next looking for a move on Dylan. Should have great traction coming off the final corner, Yun Sao. Dylan is derating down the straight, and Samba with the inside line gets a nice neat overtake done as Reapers gets by up ahead as well. Reapers up to second place now, 1-2 for NLR at this stage. Gelato trying to retaliate, and further back, Killer Blue on Wuta. Wuta leaving a gap on the inside. Let's see what we can get a view on this one. Wouter just holding on there. Great driving from both drivers. Ruti tucked up behind Dylan. And Reaper's trying to get away from Gelato. Henry and Killer Blue swap places time after time after time. A little bit of a squeeze there onto the grass, and it looks like there's going to be some retaliation for that one. And who can blame the driver for the Red Bull ERT team? But unfortunately for them, Sib gets by both of them, and he's on the hard tyres. Incredible. Away we go up the hill then. Larkin with a great run. It looks like a pit stop for Henry on his way into the pits now, as Reapers has got by Kart Racer and has been released from Kart Racer, who will now try and do the job, or at least stay on terms with Reapers. It's Reapers, Kart Racer, NLR 1-2 from Samba, then Gelato, Ruti, Dylan and Wouter, your top 7 drivers. Some crazy stuff on track. Questionable driving, but this is like I say, this is for cash prizes. This is high pressure stuff with your whole team watching. You don't want to be passed around the outside, and the pressure is piling on. Drivers hanging on though. Those 13-lap-old mediums struggling for Gelato and Dylan against the rest of the field. Samba right behind Kart Racer now. It's got the DRS. Kart Racer does not have the DRS, so Kart Racer, will he use the inside line? He's going to try and keep the inside. He does keep the inside, forces Samba around the outside. Looks like Samba's got a good line going through here and takes the place. Great stuff from Samba. Up to P2. But Kart Racer coming back with DRS in retaliation and getting the place back into the next corner. They go side by side. There's a tiny bit of contact as they try and navigate enough room on the track for each other. Kart Racer on the inside, just holding up Samba now. Samba with a switchback, late break down the inside. Kart Racer, if you can hang on to the outside, they touch wheels once again. Samba leaning on the car, leaning on his rival's car, and gets by round the outside. So, Kart Racer, good retaliation, but just couldn't hold off Samba, who goes up to P2, some 2.2 seconds away from Reapers, who's now got a lovely little bubble to use. This time it's Dylan with, I think, Wouter right behind him. We've got Ruti going for it against Gelato up ahead. Who's it going to be? Survives the center S's on lap 16. Just about everybody getting through here, but Ruti with a great run, surely. He's almost passed before the DRS line. Kart Racer now starting to slow everybody on those older tyres, and Ruti slams the back of the Evora driver's Haas car. Wouter's super close. Look at how tight the field is here. The second group absolutely on it. Once again, being held up a little bit here by Kart Racer and Gelato on the older tyres, but they're trying to get these tyres to survive long enough to use the softs at the end and go for a medium soft race. Where are our hard runners? De Rui is in 13th. Sieb in 15th, has dropped so many places. He was much better off than that, and Funky Chicken at racing speed will find those hards easier to bring up to temperature, but he's right. Plum last. We've lost Isaac and Black Mamba already. It's lap 16, 20 to go as we cross the line once again, and the leaders come on through. Ruti, the first car on the newer tyres, but Gelato trying to stay with Funky Chicken once again. The NLR driver takes the middle of the road once again. Nice line from Kart Racer, very clear with his intentions. Gelato getting impatient. Kart Racer just charging and harvesting on this lap. Needs to hold that inside line. The drivers are very, very close. You can see the struggle on the mediums as he tries to brake and turn at the same time. Kart really didn't want to do what he was asking it to do. Reapers lead from 3 seconds now from Samba. Kart Racer in third. Gelato fourth from Ruti, Dylan, Wouter, Larkin, Killer Blue, New Jersey, Brent, Liam, all in a line with each other. What an incredible battle we've got on our hands as this race heads towards the halfway point. Now Gelato with the DRS cuts the inside line, should be done before the braking zone. Pass complete from Gelato. Now up to third for Evora and released from the slow kart racer. Currently at this stage, at least, he's no slouch. That's absolutely clear, but it's difficult. We've got some side-by-side action happening slightly further back. Relentless on the inside of Evora, and Wouter gets by Dylan. Excellent stuff now as Gelato, having got past Kart Racer, cannot get away from him at this point. Remember, this race still quite young. We're just into the halfway point, and we've already seen one safety car. Will we see any more? Difficult to clear the cars away from the racing line if there is an accident. Looks like Killer Blue slow away from Yun Sao there, just in the background. But it's Ruti with a good run here on Kart Racer. Ruti alongside Kart Racer gives him the inside, but he's got the corner, I think. Kart Racer, Ruti on the inside. If they touch, Ruti's going round, but Ruti just backs out of it enough. That hands the advantage to Wouter, who will now be almost alongside the Alfa Romeo driver. Wouter with DRS just the same. Both of them charging down the Reta Raposta, and it's as you were with Gelato. Still leads Kart Racer, Ruti, Wouter and Dylan in this group. But Reapers 3.5 seconds away from Samba, who's now nearly 3 seconds away from Gelato himself. So the field's starting to spread out at the front. Samba's going to struggle to get back on terms with Reapers after Kart Racer held him up for a lap or two and has allowed Reapers to be running his own pace. A sneaky move there from Larkin on the inside, going into the SA corner. Still has the outside, and they head towards Yun Sao. And Larkin ahead. Another safety car as it's Killer Blue has exited the race. Can't quite see where he is. We'll try and track him from Henry's car. Just as one McLaren was passing the other, we go for our second safety car. Pit stops for the leaders. Reapers now onto soft tyres, hoping to get himself nearly 17 laps out of fresh softs. That's a big ask. That's a big ask. But looks like that's the option everybody's going for. Ruti has chosen a different option. He's gone for mediums, but everybody else in the pits and on the similar terms with one another now. Reapers leading the way, but soft tyres to get to the end of this race. Obviously gambling on a fairly lengthy safety car period, one would think. So, just as Nathan said, the top two are clear, and Passe from Relentless said, don't jinx it. Of course, we get a safety car, and the field condensed back up. Reapers has got to be wondering what he needs to do to sort this out and finish this race off. He's done everything right so far, but it's just not quite worked out perfectly yet for him. Still lots of running left to go in this one. Make sure you've liked the video while we're under safety car orders, please. Make sure you followed us on Twitter. Links at the bottom of the screen, as you can see. Just need to catch up with my paddock chat. Make sure there's nothing that I can let you guys all know about. Cad enjoying the coverage. You can see. Jerome says rip to Ruti's strategy. He's not convinced it's the best way to go. Some fuel burning going on Reaper's car. See if we get you some stuff to watch. some more overtakes to watch. You're not missing anything. That was the XL pass. We may actually be back under safety car orders very soon for you. Let's see, we're back under green flag, I should say. The field is closed up. Reapers think so, and there's the notification. So back under Reapers. Reapers' choice now where to go. We wait to see. We just hope for no action underneath the safety car from behind in the group. Let's hope for no collisions, no unnecessary warnings. Reapers still warming those tyres. Watch for Ruti being vulnerable, and Sieb as well. Sieb definitely going for different strategies today. We're almost at the start-finish line, and Reapers goes now under the game sign as Kart Racer on Gelato gets another good restart. Great pass from Kart Racer, restarting very strongly there. Wuta on Ruti also got a good run. Is he close enough? Not quite to make it happen. Further back, Dylan and Liam fighting, but not quite making a move. Jackson gets by DeRui, but it's Reapers and Samba, then Kart Racer trying to. He's now back on terms with the lead pair, of course, on strategy. Everybody should be pitted to the end. There will need to be a little bit of tyre saving for those soft runners, and of course the medium runners can go really, really hard at the end of this one. Still waiting, of course, for some more DRS for the drivers. So Reapers from Samba and Kart Racer. Samba with a good run. Reapers gives him the inside. Samba with the fastest lap, but Reapers knows there's little chance of an overtake through there. Reapers concentrating on getting the optimal track positioning. And now Kart Racer perhaps with an opportunity. He's closer to Samba than Samba is, trying to force him offline, very much playing the team game, trying to keep him honest. Ruti has lost out to Wuta in the previous lap, so Ruti down to P6 and waiting for those tyres to grip up. Larkin and Liam going side by side through the corner, but not quite contact. So nice, very good driving between the two, the pairing there. Everyone's super close to one another. We have got an absolute grandstand few laps for you, I'm sure. So Reapers a quarter of a second away from Samba as the DRS will be re-enabled very, very shortly. Samba is super close. Kart Racer is trying his hardest to get on terms. Samba possibly too close through Yun Sao. Loses out some momentum. And now it's it might be advantage Kart Racer. Let's see. It's Samba not quite close enough through here. And Kart Racer with the fastest lap now. Trying his absolute damnedest to protect his team leader. Reapers. Team leader on the race. I don't think there's team orders going on, I must say. Reapers just shapes to the middle of the track. Samba goes round the outside and Kart Racer sneaks up the middle. Can he hold on as they go through the next part of the corner? Yes, Kart Racer, brilliant overtake. And it's NLR 1-2 so far. Fantastic stuff from the two drivers there, working in synchronicity. And Reapers and Kart Racer positioning on the track almost identically as Samba tried to get the advantage back. Gelato will try and get on terms with these drivers as well. I think Kart Racer with a little bit of connection issues possibly, but Samba trying now to stay with them. Kart Racer needs that DRS badly from the back of his teammate, and will be trying to stay on terms. Brilliant, brilliant stuff. So Samba just under 2/10 back from Kart Racer, who has the DRS. Kart Racer to the inside. Samba goes to the outside. Kart Racer leaves the braking zone available and just about holds on. A little bit of contact, but Samba having to be careful to not lose out. Now it's the turn of Gelato, who might press everything to try and get on terms. He's got the inside line coming towards Desida del Lago. Gelato goes for the gap, but not quite, doesn't quite make it, but it slowed Samba down. It's allowed NLR to distance themselves slightly. And now Samba staring in his mirrors as they head towards the middle sector of the lap. And it's Reapers and Kart Racer getting away from each other. Reapers could do with just feathering the throttle to bring his teammate back on terms. I wonder if that's the instruction going on in the background, but we are absolutely on it. Lap 25 and the drivers, the entire field within DRS range of one another now. Reapers has backed off for his teammate, and it's a stand-up. Standing room only in all the grandstands. The Sam with a beautiful run heads down the inside line. Will he go for it? Of course, he's going for it. He's on the inside. Samba trying to nail the middle of the road through the center S's, but Gelato just about getting away. He'll get DRS. So will Samba as they head down towards the Desida del Lago, and Gelato with an overtake. Brilliant stuff. And once again, another pass in this fantastic race so far. I'm going to have zero voice by the end of this one, but who cares? Let's go for it. Samba slipping back. ERT in 4th place in the championship, trying to get on terms with NLR and with XL. Job done when it comes to XL, but relentless, going for this championship, as we mentioned. Funky Chicken not scoring points so far in the race might make that too difficult for them. But, wow. Ruti should now be back in racing speed with the rest of the field. Gelato closing in, but Samba has got an opportunity here to go for it against Gelato. Gelato using the ERS possibly. It looks like going down the main straight, and we still have the entire field within DRS range of one another. I have never seen this before in league racing, to have so many laps so close for everybody. This is tremendous stuff. What's Dylan up to further back for Evora now? He's so close, but not quite close enough. Everybody in a DRS train from the leader. Reapers and Kart Racer, NLR 1-2 on lap 27 with 9 racing laps to go. This is tremendous stuff. The NLR boys, of course, in the chat, loving watching the footage. This one will go down as legendary if they can close it out, but it's far from over yet with just a few laps to go now in this race. Everybody should be pitted to the end. No penalties in the top 8 of the field. Samba once again closing in on the back of Gelato, who derates slightly going through Young Sao, gives up a little bit of braking performance, but should have a better run. Yeah, you can see the traction launch off the back of Young Sao. Gelato heading up towards the field. It looks like Reapers and Kart Racers somewhat toying with the rest of the field as they head down towards the center S's. Once again, a little pass in the background. DeRui getting up past Jackson, I think that was, as Ruti on the medium tyres, waiting for the track conditions to come to him. It's going to be another couple of laps and then he'll have a chance. What a slipstream battle we have for you here at NLR. It's the penultimate round of our championship. I bet everyone is going to be begging for another championship to come around very quickly, as soon as possible. But tremendous stuff now. Samba 2/10 back from a potential podium, and the high quality racing continues. The pressure to not make a mistake so high on our drivers here. Fantastic stuff. Absolutely loving this one. I hope you are in the trap too. Reapers from Kart Racer and Gelato. Now Samba, quarter of a second back once again, just cannot get the car off Yonsao relative to Gelato. And we're heading up towards the center S once again. Nobody really close enough, are they? Dylan and Liam arguing. It looks like Dylan lost out that battle. Offline now. New Jersey coming around the outside. We might have a break in our DRS train now. as Dylan playing defensive against New Jersey. New Jersey ran the outside, pass complete in the midfield, all down to the fact that Dylan was struggling through the center S's. Back up at the front, let's rejoin the battle here because it is everybody tucked up behind the gearbox of each other. You can see Samba now, P4, slipping back, but holding on and trying to get back on terms. You feel like Ruti is going to be in a better position now than anybody, but he's stuck in a DRS train. Needs someone to break that up a little bit for him, but not too much, I guess. Reapers and Kart Racer still tucked up behind everybody else, right behind them. Gelato might have a go here. Kart Racer thinks he might too, and shapes to the inside. The middle line there, trying to hug that one. Everybody staying on terms. Gelato with another opportunity. Look to be derating through the Curva do Sol. But no move on this lap. It's lap 30 with 6 complete laps to run. And I appreciate the info on the lag. So no, not too, it's a bit evens, whether it's yes or no. Please subscribe to the channel. I wouldn't want you to skip away from the action, but you can hit the subscribe button if you just leave the live chat for a moment. We want to get to 100 before the checkered flag, if at all possible, please, guys. Like and share the video if you can at the end. But it's Reapers 6/10 from Kart Racer, who's 5/10 from Gelato, who's 2/10 from Samba, and still 16 drivers within DRS range of one another. I think we're going to be there to the end of this one. Samba now has been charging the ERS, I should say, towards the end of the previous lap, but he just can't get on terms with Gelato, who has the DRS. Kart Racer temporarily closed in behind his teammate. I think that might be transponder. Gelato now might go for it on Kart Racer. Not quite. They just can't get a break from each other. These slipstream battles continue. And let's see how the car's handling for Ruti. Is right on board Ruti, who's got the slight advantage, you feel now, on the medium tyres. Can he start to take advantage of the soft runners? The car absolutely on rails for him. Wuta struggling slightly going through Pinorino there. So I think the softs are starting to fade. They've got to get 5 more out of them. And Storm just acknowledging that NLR keeping his teammate in the game here by holding his DRS. I don't think anyone is able to go for a pass except for Larkin at New Jersey, who's round the outside. New Jersey making these passes where no one else can manage it. He's really on terms with the car right now. New Jersey up to P7, and the gap at the front is still as tight as it was. Still no one able to make a move, and I just worry for the final lap when people go bonsai. Yeah, as Dylan says, tyres starting to come to Ruti, but it's whether he can take advantage under the DRS situation that we've got. Tell me if I'm crazy, but this slipstream battle is something else. Dylan and Liam fighting over 9th place. Dylan on top right now. As a Williams goes round, it's Brent and the grass in the background. Back up at the front, Samba has got a small gap to Wuta behind, so he can fully focus on what his rival Gelato does ahead of him. He's got an opportunity now. Gelato knows it and goes to the middle. Samba with a late move on the inside, can't get it done. And Ruti closing as well, further back behind Wuta, who's on terms with one another. Ruti with an opportunity here. He'll have better grip through the middle sector on the tyres, but I don't think he'll have better braking performance just yet. So the top 4 go through. I think that's just over a second separating the top 4 in total. And Samba 3/10 behind Gelato. We've got Reapers and Kart Racer out there for NLR leading the way. It's been quite a week for NLR. and they're hoping to cap it off with a tremendous double podium if they can. Car Mentalist, I think, ironically complaining about the racing quality in Sao Paulo, or maybe he means the overtaking, because the racing is tremendous. We may not be getting quite the overtakes we want, but what we're seeing is drivers on the absolute limit and pushing each other metaphorically, hardly ever literally. And again, Samba cannot get by. There's now 2 full laps to go. Reapers, Kart Racer, Gelato, Wuta and Ruti, your top 6. Ruti, is he able to start leaning on the tyres that little bit harder than Wuta in front? Ruti waiting for someone to make an error on these softs that are going to start going off very quickly. Don't know that they'll hit the cliff before the end. It's about time that someone does something desperate. We've got a break in the DRS train. Larkin has just slipped out of range of New Jersey, who's just behind Ruti there. Samba again getting the better entry, but the worst exit of Yun Sao. Just can't stay on top, in touch, close enough to have a go. It's dive bomb range, but it's not there just yet for Samba. The top 4, sorry, just starting to get away from Wuta, and the second that happens, Ruti will be pouncing. But it's Samba now trying to close, but he can't do it. Wuta, I think, on target to probably slip out of DRS through this one. Liam and De Rui side by side through the Descida do Lago now, and Reapers and Kart Racer looking like they're driving within themselves. 2 to go. I love races like this on an absolute knife edge. Just hope we get a good clean finish at the front at least. Robbie looks to be moving past Henry and Jackson further down. Funky Chicken only in 15th, probably not going to score enough points for Relentless in this race alone. It might take it to the final. It's Reapers and Kart Racer, Gelato and Samba. Ruti finally going for it past Wuta and getting the job done. Should get a second bout of DRS to get away from him down the Reta Raposta. But if it's going to happen, it's going to happen now. Down with the top 4. It looks like the NLR boys have just got it far enough away from this group to protect the lead. It's all about focus and staying within yourself through this second sector, and the job will probably be done. It looks like it's going to be NLR. Gelato in 3rd, Samba in 4th at the moment. Ruti has got himself up to 5th and is catching this group now quickly. But as the second sector is almost over, NLR stretching away. Gelato will have to look behind. I think we're going to get some slipstreaming down the start-finish straight, but it looks like we are going to have... It looks like it's going to be Reapers to take the win. Reapers is on top. He's just got a few meters to go. Reapers wins for NLR from Kart Racer in their own championship. Samba slipstream past for a podium on Gelato at the very dying second. Gelato slips down to 4th. Samba obviously saved a lot back in ERS. Ruti getting 5th. New Jersey in 6th. Wuta in 7th from Larkin, De Rui and Dylan, your point scorers in the race. Have I got time to quickly look at fastest lap? It's Funky Chicken, but so it won't count. Robbie gets 11th, and I didn't. The field was so close together, I didn't have chance to finish the footage for you. So, Kart Racer in the driver of the day performance, and who blame him for the work he did. I'm sure there was a little niggle about some of the holding up of the ERT team, but a tremendous job done by NLR today. A 1-2 in the championship, hoping to try and secure second, stay on terms for a possible win of the championship as well. and tremendous stuff as the champagne sprays. We see the end of this race. Hope you've been enjoying it with me. I hope you've enjoyed everything we've put on for you today, and GG's to all the drivers who survived this tremendous Sao Paulo Grand Prix in the penultimate race of the championship. Remember to set your calendars or reminders to tune in next week. Of course, subscribing with a notification is the way to do it if you want to be sure. Reapers and Kart Racer on top. 4/10 separated them at the end. Samba just got Gelato's Haas car right at the end. Then Ruti, New Jersey, Wuta, Larkin, DeRui, and Dylan the top 10 from Robbie, Jackson, Brent, Liam, Henry, Funky Chicken, who just lost the fastest lap to Seb at the very death. Killer Blue, Isaac, and Black Mamba, your only 3 DNFs from the entire race. And like I say, brilliant stuff from our contenders there. And Bowers confirms for me that the championship goes to the very final race, which is exactly really what everybody except the Relentless camp would want to see. We've had a tremendous race for you, and hope you have enjoyed it. I won't get in touch with our leader. I won't with Relentless leader at this point because we don't want to jinx the championship, of course. But I hope, like I say, I hope you've really enjoyed it. Just checking in on everybody's feedback. Lesty's happy with CPI. What did Dex have to say? That NLR was saved by the safety car. Ooh, some sour grapes possibly from Dex there. I think it was a well-deserved victory from NLR and some great driving. But yeah, clearly Kart Racer did benefit from some help from the safety car. There's no question. Getting back on terms with the soft strategy. Tremendous stuff. Tom asks, was it a timing glitch for Samba and Gelato? I think it was just a slipstream battle to the end. I do hope you can go and lie down in a dark room, which is, I think, what I'm going to have to do to recover from that one. Tremendous race, tremendous driving all the way through the championship, and we go down to the wire next week and the final race of the season. Well, that's all from us today, folks. Make sure you've hit that subscribe button so you don't miss the footage next week. Congrats to NLR for passing 100 subscribers during the footage today and for a 1-2. And yeah, hope for more of the same quality of the driving for next week's final race. And we will see you then. And I will catch you on the next race day.